I don't know. I guess we're all gonna find. Oh God, we summoned him.
Oh, you're beautiful.
We're sorry. We know it's you. I don't know who it is.
No idea.
No idea.
Don't be afraid, it's just me. Oh, okay, so this thing's hot, man. I know it's better, huh? With the mask. Okay, so here's my question for everybody, all right? You saw the intro with the werewolf, right? And here he is right here. What does this got to do with that, with inflammation? Any idea? Anybody? Any thoughts? Well, it's pretty close. You kind of got it there, okay? Now listen to me. It's about this. See, inflammation is not bad. Okay? Inflammation is good. The problem is when it gets out of balance. Because there's anti-inflammatory cytokines, which brings down body inflammation, and pro-inflammatory cytokines. So you have some that downregulate and heal the body, while other ones damage the body. So in the end, what we're talking about is this guy turning into that guy. Make sense? So that's what we're going to learn tonight. We're going to figure out how to bring up anti-inflammatory cytokines and bring down pro-inflammatory cytokines to promote healing. It's that simple. Make sense? Yes? Yes. All right, cool. All right, so what is inflammation? Inflammation is one thing, and that's all it is. It's the body trying to heal itself. It's that simple. Like oftentimes it gets confused. So in the beginning, there's our planet, we had food. Then what happened? We did stuff. Then came the sad American diet. We started eating processed foods, damaged fats, high sugar. We quit eating food and we started damaging our bodies. The sad American diet, standard American diet. Then came physical stress on the body, which when I started in practice many, many years ago, 35 years ago, that was the number one reason people came to visit me, was for physical injuries. These days, not even close. Emotional stress, huge. Okay? And then chemical stress, even bigger. Okay? I mean, we can't even control some of it. Some of it, we've absolutely no control over that. So the sad American diet, the physical, chemical, emotional stress on our bodies ultimately led to chronic inflammation. So the problem isn't acute inflammation, it's chronic inflammation. So you get a boo-boo on your finger. You get pro-inflammatory cytokines, which kills the buggers, the dirt, the debris, the parasites, the COVID, the bacteria, and it kills all that stuff. That's good. And then the anti-inflammatory cytokines heals the wound, and we got all fixed up, right? The problem is the chronic. This causes by lifestyle changes. That's the challenge we've got. Systemic inflammation all over the body. Okay, so what's this Jekyll and Hyde thing? Okay, or the what's he called? Werewolf, post-werewolf guy. All right, what's that got to do with it? Linoleic acid. All right, that comes from meat, red meat. All right, now that's not necessarily bad for you if it's pasture or grass-finished beef, right? That's good for you. The the fatty acid ratio is beautiful, all right? And then you've got alpha-linoleic acid, which is basically fish oil, right? And we all know fish oils are good for us. The problem we do, we poison our oceans and damage our fish, okay? But here's the deal, all right? Alpha-linoleic acid and linoleic acid have an enzyme called delta-6 desaturase. All right. Now this is a very important enzyme because these fatty acids feed into a funnel and get converted into something called the prostaglandin. And this one is an anti-inflammatory prostaglandin, E1 and E3. Okay? The problem is we consume so much meat in this country, good and bad version, that we burn out that enzyme. So the enzyme gets shut down. And it shunts everything down the arachidonic acid cascade, and you get prostaglandin E2. Okay? They're hormones. That's all they are. We hear about hormones like testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, cortisol, but these guys get lost. But these are probably the most important for good health than anything you could take. All right? So we've got to make sure that we end up with these anti-inflammatory prostaglandins and pro-inflammatory to a minor effect for acute injury, where our bodies are being bombarded by the pro-inflammatory cytokines. Okay? So the first step towards chronic inflammation, there you go. Okay? Damaged fats. Okay? We take damaged trans-hydrogenated oils. Okay? They're damaged fats. Now, that causes stress and inflammation on the body. Now, what are they? Canola oil, rapeseed oil. It's the number one cooking oil in the country. It is an industrial lubricant. It was never meant to be used for food. All right? Never. Soybean oil, corn oil, safflower, cottonseed oil, all those are rancid fats, and they're found in almost every single margarine, bread, cookie, cracker, and salad dressing in the country. And yet we're eating them. The problem is that vegetable oil turns into hydrogenated when heated. So if you take a vegetable oil, heat it, it becomes a hydrogenated oil, and it becomes sticky and gummy, and that's what creates the body inflammation. Okay? So damaged fats, this is that it looks like spikes. You can get good poison in and out, and here it gets stuck. So what happens, the damaged fats are sticky, they prevent improper detoxification, and we build up congestion of poison inside the cells, which then leads us to the path of inflammation. Right, Bugs? Right? Okay? So, second step towards chronic inflammation, damaged fat consumption. What are the fats we should be eating? What are the 5? Go.
Avocado.
Avocados.
Butter.
Butter. What kind of butter? Organic butter, real butter. Olive oil, raw nuts and seeds, and coconut oil. Which one should be used for cooking at high temperatures? Right? Because what happens, the same thing with olive oil. If you cook it at high temperature, it becomes hydrogenated and becomes a trans fat. But if you want to cook with olive oil, it's totally okay. Just don't be me. I want to eat my meal yesterday. So I cook it hot. I want it now. Avocado oil is okay to cook with, but again, low heat as well. Okay? Grapeseed oil is okay too. There's something interesting about grapeseed. Okay, they found out grapeseed oil was like really good for you. So what happened? They started cheating, and now the grapeseed oil is all poisonous because they cheated with it and started mixing it with vegetable oils. And you can't win. I mean, you just got to. There's more and more. That's why you can't keep coming to seminars, because stuff changes constantly. Okay, saturated fats. Okay, good or bad? Anybody, help me out.
Good. Good.
I got good. I got bad. I got mixed reviews. Bad. Did you say bad, Beth? Saturated fats. Okay? The answer to the question is this. A study on 235 women who regularly ate the highest amounts of saturated fats exhibited the least amount of plaque buildup in their arteries. Okay? Healthier balance, good and bad cholesterol, bad fats, I don't call it cholesterol, concentrates and other fats, and better overall health from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition.
Why did they go with unsaturated?
Well, what do you think they did it for? I did a seminar on that about a year and a half ago. What was it for? Money. Because they published a study which said cholesterol causes heart disease. And the cholesterol, what contributed to that was saturated fat. Then what they did is they came up with a whole industry of polyunsaturated fats, which are all the rancid fats I just showed you. And they said, well, we don't want to stop selling rancid fats because we want to make money. And so that's why they got away from saturated fats, because there's profit in it. Everything is driven by profit. Why do the drug companies still sell stuff that's bad for you? I don't know. They're just benevolent. Okay? All right, so saturated fats, yay, not inflammatory. In fact, you want to know something? Your brain is made up mostly of cholesterol and saturated fats. You know what the number one growing brain disease is? Alzheimer's and dementia. because we don't eat enough saturated fat, and we take stupid cholesterol-lowering drugs to damage our bodies. Okay, it's crazy, right? Sugar. We know this one already. Sugar overload. Okay? People should consume up to 150 grams of sugar. People consume up to 158 grams of sugar during most celebrations. Christmas, you got your Easter, which just a couple days ago. We had to have the fancy cake, and Valentine's Day, and you got to get your loved one a big thing of chocolates, and then you got to, you see what happens? Then you have your graduation parties, and then your New Year's Eve celebrations with all the alcohol, which is good for you. Okay, right? This is all making sense? Okay, so here's what you're supposed to consume. That's one day on celebration days. Any given day, the most you should have is 6 to 9 grams of sugar, or 6 to 9 teaspoons. Orange juice, okay, 24 grams of 6 teaspoons of sugar. Sports drinks, they got to be good for you. They say sports on them. Sports is good for us, right? Sports drinks, okay, 14 grams of sugar. Iced tea with sugar in it, 24 grams. So let's drink some healthy orange juice. Brought to you by the Florida Orange Growers Association. Money, right? But I don't eat sugar, Dr. Ray. Isn't that a cute puppy? Yes, you do. Okay? Anything in a package, box, or can has sugar in it. Almost all of it. Want to hear something interesting? Most salt has sugar in it. Why would they do that? Any idea? Sugar is the most addictive product. It's more addictive than cocaine. So why not put it in salt to make you want more salt? Because it's sweet, sort of. But your taste buds notice it, but no one else does. Isn't that crazy? So if I were you, I'd get my phone out and take a picture of that. Because if you got this, reading the side of packages or boxes or cans, if this is in it, don't put it in your face. Then you won't be overloading on the sugars. Right? Cool? All right, I see cameras out. I see cameras out still. We good? Camera. And come on, Sandra, you're killing me, Smalls. Got it? One more. Yes. All right. I'm moving on. We'll come back to it. Okay? Third step towards chronic inflammation, overexposure to sugars. Okay? And remember, sugar is also included in all your things that become sugar, all your grains, right? Rice, pasta, all right? All of these things. What's some more? Give me some bread, right? How about fruit? Oh my God, Dr. Ray, fruit's good for you. God made fruit. God be good for you. Not when it's GMO and processed, right? And not to mention, God didn't poison us with all this processed food that damaged our body. So we have to stay off the sugar for a while. Then you go back to your core eating plan, which includes the healthy fruits. Okay? All right. A trick about artificial sweeteners. 0 calories. So that's good, right? You know what? It doesn't matter because the brain still interprets the taste as sugar, so you get the same insulin response as if you ate sugar. So you know what happens? You still get diabetes. But go to the American Diabetic Association website. They recommend all the artificial sweeteners. It's insane. Okay? The body reacts just like you eat sugar. Okay? So that's okay. We'll use artificial sweeteners instead of sugar, right? So Splenda's the number one seller. There's also Equal, and then there's the pink one. What's that one called? The pink stuff? Sweet and Low, which pretty much nobody does anymore. But doesn't that look yummy? Who wants that? Okay. Problem is, this is loaded up with Splenda. Sweet. Oh, it tastes so good. Poisons your body. Okay? And here's why. Okay? I love this one. I know you've seen it before, but I love to do it anyway. Okay? So it starts off as sugar. So sucrose becomes trilated with trichloride in the presence of diethylformaldehyde with 4-methylmorpropylene and trilated sucrose and acetylated with acetic anhydride. The result is trips. I'm not going to try that one. Then it gets a chlorinated hydrogen chloride in the presence of toluene, which is a benzene ring, which is poison to the body, resulting in 4-PSA, which is that, methyl isobutylketone and acetic acid, the resulting 6-PSA. Then that's pentoic acid, chlorinated with that in the presence of toluene, another, there it is again, okay, aluminum benzoyl triethyl aluminum chloride, and becomes sucralose pentaacetate in wood alcohol, which is a poison to the body, sodium methyl, and finally produces sucralose. So what started off as sugar now becomes this. 1,6-dichloro, 1,6-deoxy beta D fructofuranocide, 4-chloro, 4-deoxy alpha D galactopyranoside. Good for you, yes?
No.
It can't be, okay? It's poison, it's crap, okay? This was developed as an insecticide. You guys know that?
Yes.
It's an insecticide. And what happened? They said, wow, it's sweet, 0 calorie. At low doses, it doesn't kill people based upon the studies, but it does create chronic inflammation, which kills people. So stay away from artificial. I would rather see you eating white sugar out of the packet than doing artificial sweeteners. And I know how damaging sugar is. You see what I'm saying? This is garbage. Do not go near artificial sweeteners. 4th step towards chronic inflammation. Emotional stress. Stress causes cortisol to go up. Cortisol creates sugar, even if you don't eat sugar. It's crazy. 5th step towards chronic inflammation. Toxins in your home. Okay, the stuff we put on and in our bodies. Okay, do you realize that the stuff they put on kids, that it's a fire retardant for kids and their cribs and all that stuff? The most toxic crap on the planet. We're poisoning our children by laying in their beautiful cribs. You got to be careful, man. So what's the solution? Anti-inflammatory mindset. Okay, now you're going to hear some weird stuff from me in this part. Okay, check it out. Okay. Change the meaning of stress with the 5 essentials. So bring joy back into your life. Okay? How do you maximize joy in your life? Here it is. Ready? Boom. Best picture ever. Isn't that great? Okay? So what do? Don't spend time in the past. We spend so much bandwidth thinking about the past. Oh my God, I screwed that up. Oh my gosh, it's over. You can't fix it. Move on. Okay? Just move on. Okay, it's over. Don't think about the past. Now, this is the hard part for me. Don't spend too much time thinking about the future and planning, right? Oh, I got this business. I got to build this business. What am I going to do? Oh my gosh. I'm actually in my office with the door closed, supposed to be preparing for this, and I'm putting together the next program already, right? Thinking, am I in the present? No, I'm thinking of the future, right? And that wrecks joy. You spend time having fun. So where do you got to spend your time? Live in the present, live in the right now, and live consciously. Spend time. Annie, how you doing today? Are you doing okay? I'm right here with you right now. I love you, sweetheart. Okay? Spend time in the present. Be with people. But don't spend your time thinking about, oh, I said it wrong yesterday. I hope I don't screw it up today. You probably will. Oh, well. Move on. Right? Live now. And say what's on your mind and love people. Just pour in the love and live consciously. Anti-inflammatory foods. I want you eating a crap ton of this. Okay? So here we go. Berries packed with antioxidant, fiber, and vitamins. There we go. Berries are cool as long as they're organic, but again, don't eat too many of them. For me on the Super Bowl, I just buy a plate full of blueberries and get 500 grams of sugar from blueberries. Okay? I love blueberries. But don't do that. Wild caught fish. Okay? And where should they come from? Cold or warm water sources? Cold water. Why? Toxins run downhill into the warm. Okay? So Alaskan caught's one of your better cuts. What's the biggest problem with fish? All the crap we do to our oceans, right? Farmed is terrible. Okay? So Thank you for bringing that up. Okay. So the problem with wild caught fish is that we poison our oceans with mercury, cadmium, lead, and all the other junk we throw in the ocean, and the fish eat it and make the fish sick. So you got to be very conscientious about your fish source. Okay. Now, it's okay. We'll farm raise our fish to avoid all those heavy metals. Well, now you're using animal byproducts, which are loaded with pesticides and herbicides and dead animal parts, and that aren't really meant for fish. They do the same thing with chickens and all other feed. Okay? We eat green leafy vegetables loaded with antioxidants and vitamins. Okay? Best food you can eat for anti-inflammatory. Got it? So eat a crap ton of that stuff. Natural sweetener options, you can use berries, you can use Granny Smith apples. A monk fruit is a good source. Stevia, but watch out, it gets a little bitter. Xylitol is starting to get a little bit of more information. I've been reading more and more about xylitol. So do it, but mainly just for cooking, and try to not so much xylitol anymore. Okay? They're finding out the alcohol sugars are having some problems. Okay? All right. So physical, chemical, and emotional stress causes the inflammatory. Remember PGE2? Remember that guy? He's the president of the United States. He's the guy that dictates what happens downstream. Got me? So our alpha-linoleic acid and our linoleic acid gets fed into that delta-6 desaturase funnel, gets plugged up and goes this way and becomes pro-inflammatory. You with me? All right. So the pro-inflammatory president, whoever that is, okay, there he is. That's a molecule. That's what he looks like. Okay. The generals in the action, these are called helper cells. They're the generals that dictate the next layer. Okay? The next layer are the T cells, all your different mast cells and lymphocytes. These are the guys that are the generals that send the troops in, which are the cytokines. Okay? Now the cytokines, now these are the pro-inflammatory cytokines. They create something that the medical community calls a cytokine storm. Okay? And this whole storm is feeding inside your body, creating systemic inflammation. Follow? Now, I said in the very beginning, what is the purpose of inflammation?
Healing.
To heal the body. So these helper cells that are creating this cytokine storm is doing its best to save the body. That's what it's trying to do. So here's the answer. Ready? So T cells after the cytokine storm. We did it. We saved the body in the process of killing the body. You see what it does? Remember, if you get a little cut in your boo-boo, right? Pro-inflammatory cytokines kill, which is good in a little boo-boo. And then the pro-inflammatory heals. The problem is our body is the problem. The body is sick. So these helper cells, these cytokines, are trying to save yourself by killing yourself. Is that insane? But that's how it works. So the end game, the systemic inflammation leads to cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, pulmonary disease, arthritis, autoimmune, and neurologic diseases. Remember this guy from the very beginning? There's this guy who's the good guy, and this is the bad guy, remember? Too much of the bad guy. We got to get this guy down and get this guy up. Right? So how are we going to do that? We got some stuff to do. We have something to stop the cytokine storm. Vitamin A and vitamin D. Vitamin A and vitamin D create the helper cells. All right? They send them to West Point to make more generals to control the war better. All right? So we don't have cytokine storm. Then we've got the omega-3 fatty acids. Now those are, again, we would call these fish oils. But what's the problem? 99% of fish oils, A, are poison, because what they do is they take them from the warm water fish sources, they harvest them, then they mix them with the pro-inflammatory rancid oils from vegetable oil to cheat, because they're less expensive, because they can save money and profit more. Okay? Then they are alpha-linoleic acid, which requires the enzyme to create the anti-inflammatory benefit. Are you with me? So what happens to all these rancid, terrible fats? They end up places. They end up on your butt, they end up on your belly, and they end up on your boobs. Okay? And we get big. And we wonder why we're getting big. That's because of that. So you've got to make sure that the supplement you're getting is past the delta 6 enzyme. Okay, GLA, ALA, EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid. I love saying that one. It's fun. Okay, then we have DHA, DXO. I can't remember. Never mind. Okay, but all these are past that delta 6 enzyme to make the anti-inflammatory cytokine, the president. Follow? What else we need? Greens. Okay, how many fruits and vegetables should we consume a day? 15. How many people do that? And you can't count ketchup. No counting ketchup. Okay, how many do 15?
I take my green.
That's my girl right there. If you're taking the greens, you're getting your 15 fruits and vegetables right there. It's nearly impossible. I mean, I love broccoli too, but I don't want 15 pounds of broccoli for a day. Do you?
No.
Makes it a lot easier doing the green. 1 scoop of greens, you got it. Okay? Then, curcumin. It's the most powerful antioxidant that is made, but it's not. Okay, another thing that makes me mad. Okay, COX-2 enzyme. Okay, the COX-2 enzyme is an enzyme that blocks the inflammation cascade or the cytokine storm. Okay, so all of your anti-inflammatory medications do that. Okay, so that would be a good thing to decrease body inflammation. Yes, sort of. So what do they tell people with heart disease to do? Take low dose what? Aspirin. Aspirin blocks the COX-2 enzyme. Without the COX-2 enzyme, the heart can't pump. So what they're doing is recommending something to lower the inflammation, to protect the heart and thin the blood, to damage the heart. Tell me that makes logical sense. It doesn't. And go to the website for the American Heart Association, and they will tell you right there on that website they do not recommend low-dose aspirin. And yet every medical doctor on the planet still recommends it. Why? They don't read their own research. Makes me crazy. Okay? So that's the bundle, the cytokine storm bundle. That's going to fix you. No, by the way, the curcumin, it's not really an anti-inflammatory. What it does, it gets integrated into our cells and our body becomes anti-inflammatory, which is a way better benefit. So when your cells crack open in the presence of a curcuminoid body, your body's anti-inflammatory. It just heals, right? There's minimal pro-inflammatory cytokines, maximize anti-inflammatory cytokines. Why not? Because it's in to help your body. Okay? Exercise lowers inflammation, but what's the best kind? HIIT training, right there. Time, type, and tempo. We always say T3 means 3 days a week. It really doesn't. It means time, type, and tempo. Okay? And so you have to hit it hard and then stop. Hard and then stop. Hard and then stop. Because the problem is when we do long-term cardio, an hour on the treadmill, the beautiful hormones, the human growth hormone goes up and the testosterone goes up and all of these beautiful things occur. Then after a certain threshold, cortisol starts to go up. And cortisol causes the body to create sugar, and we've learned that sugar is inflammatory. So you're getting the opposite benefit. So instead, you go until the body's, I'm going to start making cortisol. No, you're not. I'm going to make cortisol. No, you're not. Cortisol, no, you're not. But in order to gain the benefit, you have to hit 80% of your maximum heart rate for your age. Go on the internet, Google your age, and put in maximum heart rate, and you'll find out what that is. Now, I always quote this, but the study that was done, they took 100 people and they had them do exercise. And when they felt like they were at 80%, they said, come up and we'll check you. They come up and they check their pulse. The average pulse rate was 40, which means they were doing half of what they should have been doing to gain the benefit we're looking for. And what's really cool, and this was a guy won the Nobel Prize for this less than 10 years ago, is this whole cytokine thing turns into something where you run out of glutathione and you end up with severe oxidative damage. What the body does now from exercising the way we're teaching, it increases the nitrous oxide system 8-fold. What a great design. When you exercise, how do you feel the third day? Third day? You feel like garbage. You got hit by a train. Okay? And the reason is because you tore tissues down under the premise that's going to build it back up stronger. Correct? But the body is designed to, it causes inflammation to go up to here. The exercise gets it up here to decrease that body inflammation. What a great design, yeah? So it's called nitrous oxide. Okay? Toxins, check your own for toxins. I was going to ask you, I couldn't think of the name. I was going to put it in the slide and I forgot. What's it called? Okay, I want you to go to the website, look for Think Dirty. An app. Now be careful what you find. You start searching Think Dirty, you might find a few things. Okay? But Think Dirty. It's a cool app, and I'll give Tony's wife, Bugs, introduced me to it. And it's a great, and we're going to actually bring it up at the next seminar, which is going to be a toxin seminar. But it's a good way to search toxins in your home and find out what's organic. And they actually have options that you can purchase from their website. It's profit, but it's a good profit and the benefit of people. And then consider a detox routine to eliminate inflammation. The one I'm recommending for this seminar is the detox system. Now we have 3 layers of detox, okay? We have the max cleanse, which is part of your lifetime focus 4, right? Then you got the detox system, which is for both body and cellular detoxification. You do that once every 6 months. Then you have the the metal binder, which pulls the heavy metals, the lead, the cadmium, and all the stuff that ends up in our bodies that the liver can't eliminate. And do that about once a year. So daily max cleanse, this one for the seminar, about once every 6 months, and the Metalloclear once a year. That's the old version. It's metal binder now. Okay, you with me? Okay, so think about that. All right, so when you're thinking about your detox, you cycle through. Now, if you spend a lot of time in construction, around metal, especially if you're a welder, metal binder more. Okay, and the detox system more. Okay, it depends on what your job and what you do.